welcome to Library Connection. I'm Mandy Cantrell from the B.B. Comer Memorial Library here in Sylacauga. Thank you for joining us today. And before we get started, I want to thank TV47 and Chris especially for all they do to help us put on our program. All right, today I'm joined by one of my most favorite people, and that is Miss Elaine Mitchem. We have been friends. I guess I've known you all my life because your son Jimmy is my age. We go to church together, and Miss Elaine, I'm so impressed with the kind of work you do, with the way you serve our community. So that's why I wanted to have you on here, just to thank you and to talk about some of the things you do.
Thank you, Mandy. It's a privilege to be here today.
Oh, great. Now, how long have you lived in Sylacauga?
88 years.
Oh my, all your life then?
All my life.
So you were born here and grew up here, lived here, raised your family here? All of that.
That's right.
That's wonderful. How have things changed in 88 years here in Sylacauga? That's a big question, I know.
Well, I think the biggest change is most people worked locally, and they didn't commute back and forth, and we didn't have people commuting in. Avondale Mills was a big employer at that time, and it seems like that everybody was just here. We didn't travel to work a long way.
That is a big change, I think, now that everybody has a car or two or three.
And all the businesses downtown served our community, and they bought groceries there and clothing there, and you didn't have to go away.
Right. We had everything we needed right here.
Right here. And the churches were really vibrant, all the churches. And I remember as a child, we lived off of Elm down Spring Street, and on Sunday morning, people would be walking to church, and as we passed by the houses, they would join us, and it was kind of like a parade.
Oh, wow.
And I just remember that so much. But most people that I knew walked. Very few people had a car.
Wow, we're so lazy. I think today we are so lazy. I mean, I drive everywhere. I don't really walk, so that's nice things to remember. One of the reasons I ask you here is Miss Elaine comes into the library every week to get books to read to Spring Terrace. So even though you're retired now, and I know we're going to talk about that in a little bit, you are still a very busy lady. I know you come in and you're getting books on different topics for Spring Terrace. What do you do for the people at Spring Terrace?
Well, I stay there for an hour, and we talk about various things. One thing that we talked about the presidents. They like to hear about those. And we talk about people that have made an impact on our lives, that have helped us, like Henry Ford, Alexander Graham Bell, Thomas Edison, George Washington Carver, Roy Rogers, Dale Evans, Billy Graham.
Oh, wow.
And we always enjoy it. We celebrate birthdays. We talk about Thanksgiving and Christmas, Easter, and it's not so much reading a book. The reason I come to get books is to get information, but sometimes I do read a story to them. But I've been doing this for since 2019, 5 years. Of course, when COVID hit, we were out for a few years. But Wilder Jones was a resident at Spring Terrace. And the lady that had been coming for years to do a program every week had to move. So Wilder Jones got the idea that I could do this job. And so after I had done it for several weeks, she said, I knew you would be good, but I didn't know you would be so good.
Oh.
But Mandy, this is a highlight of my life. I love to go on Wednesday morning, and they are so precious. Usually we have 8 to 10 that come, and they're always sitting in the little living room waiting on me.
Yes.
And they love to remember the past, and they interact with information.
That is so nice. And I know you're not just coming in to find something you want to talk about. You talk to them, you find out what they would like to hear about.
Now this Wednesday, Jamie is coming down, and we're going to sing.
Oh, goodness.
And we'll probably read the Christmas story.
Yes. Oh, how fun. And You take this very seriously. I know.
do.
You come upstairs and we're, looking for books or stories or things, and that is so nice. I know they enjoy it so much.
Well, it's just a pleasure. Some weeks I have a hard time thinking of something to talk about, but before Wednesday, something always comes up. Maybe it's a book that I'm reading at home, or maybe a TV program, or somebody mentions something that makes me get a subject.
So you've always got your ears open listening for something.
I know.
That is fun.
Every now and then I go every week. That's 4 times a month. And that is a lots of information.
It is.
And
for an hour, yes, that's a long time.
Sometimes we talk longer than an hour. Sometimes we keep visiting because they don't have that much to do, and they don't have to, just so they get through in time for lunch.
Yes.
But I have a stack of information that I have given, so I have started recycling some of those programs.
Sure. I do the same thing with mine because they enjoy it. That's great. And people change, people come in, things like that.
Oh yes, we have different people at different times.
Yeah. I know y'all enjoy that. Someone near their age and you can talk about the same type of things. Y'all know about the same type of things.
One of the ladies said one day, "You can do a program again. We can't remember what you gave us before."
Oh, no. They're so kind, aren't they?
But we have one lady that is a local person, and she still lives at home. Her name is Nina Lambert.
Yes.
And she has friends there. And so she comes just about every Wednesday, and she says she enjoys the program.
I know.
At different times, I have brought people with me.
Yeah.
Like my neighbor, Shirley Cardwell, came for a long time with me.
Well,
so they enjoy it too.
Well, that is a great way to serve and to give back to your community. That's wonderful. Well, I know you do this now because you are retired. You retired from Wright Sprayberry, I forgot, several years ago.
Yes. I counted up. It's 12 years ago, and it doesn't seem like 12 years.
Oh, goodness, I bet.
But before that, I had worked at Brown Insurance Agency for 37 years.
Oh, goodness.
And when we merged with Wright Sprayberry, I moved up there. And I was at Wright Sprayberry for 14 years.
Wow.
And
That's
51 years. And
all in the insurance business.
Yes, but I had worked before that as a teenager and in my early life at the Craddock Clinic and Coosa River Newsprint.
Yes. Wow.
But I have always just enjoyed working, and my health has always been good.
Yes.
So I could do that. But I really, when I left Wright Sprayberry at 76, I had really liked to work till I was 80, but it didn't work out for me.
Oh, that's okay. Well, you're still working. You're still very busy. And we're going to talk about a lot of the other things you do. But I know at Wright Sprayberry, you still go back and see those
Yes, I do
ladies.
some volunteer work there.
Yeah, they've told me about it, how much they appreciate you doing that. You do a lot of the other things for them, and they're glad to see you too. And I've seen you watering plants in front of the store and picking up trash too. As I drove by in my car, I felt really bad. You're out there picking up trash as I drove by to go home for lunch. But that's wonderful that you give your time like that. Well, we're going to pause for a commercial break, and we'll be right back and talk some more with Elaine.
A funeral service represents a family's final farewell to their loved ones. Knowing this, we go beyond what is expected to ensure the ceremony is beautiful and memorable, a truly fitting tribute to that special life. We invite you to visit us to meet our staff and tour our renovated facility complete with a new dining area and catering services. We've been serving the people of this area for over 40 years, and we think that you'll be pleased to find that making lasting impressions remains our first priority. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Elaine Mitchem, who has lived in Sylacauga her entire life. We're talking about work and the way she volunteers her time and gives back to the community. Tell me about your family, Miss Elaine.
Okay, I have two children, Jamie Davis. She and her husband have two children. And my son, Jimmy Shell, and his wife, Kathy, live in Madison, Indiana, and they have a daughter named Claire.
Yeah.
Claire is married and lives in Phoenix, Arizona, and she and her husband have a little boy, 2 years old. His name is Vito, and they love Phoenix.
Do they really? Have you been out there to see them?
I have. I've
Oh,
been
wow.
2 times. I went to the wedding, and then I came back for the baby's dedication.
Oh, how fun. I know. Jimmy and I went to school together and were in church together all those years, so it's good to see him when he comes back. Yeah. And Jamie is the one you said your daughter is coming to play the piano and
Yes.
sing, or just lead singing? Yeah.
Yes, she plays the piano really well. And she's a graduate of Malavala, and Terry and Jamie and Jimmy finished at Malavala.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah.
then all 4 of my children graduated from Southern Seminary in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
And Jamie and Terry and their 2 children went to Korea and served as music missionaries for 10 years.
I remember that.
And
Goodness.
I have 6 great-grandchildren.
Oh my goodness. I've met some of them because you bring them to the summer reading program and to
Yes.
Vacation Bible School and things like that. Gosh. Well, I know when Jamie and Terry and the kids lived in Korea, that's a long way.
It is. I was able to go 2 times and visit.
Oh, wow. That's
And
great.
it's a hard trip.
It's a lot of time difference. It's around the world, so a lot of time difference, but that's great. But they're back now.
They're
That's
back
good.
in Sylacauga. They're serving a church in Lincoln now. It's a
Okay.
small church, but it's a beautiful church.
Oh, wow.
And Terry does the music and Jamie plays the keyboard.
Yeah. Jamie's always been so talented. Terry also, but I've just known Jamie early. He's very talented on the piano. But I know you're proud of him. That's wonderful.
I am very proud.
And we're speaking about church, I guess, how we all knew each other at church. You are very involved in things at our church, First Baptist. You always have been, even when you were working, very involved. I know I've just got a list of things I could remember. You and I sing in the choir now, and you're very active in that. Have you always been in the choir? Or?
Yes, most of the time, but at one time I was the nursery coordinator.
Oh,
And
my, I didn't know that.
I don't remember how many years, but at the time we had volunteers that did all the work.
Yes.
So it seemed like that every Sunday I was still in the nursery and didn't
I
get to
know.
go to church. And at that time I did not do choir.
Oh, well, no, you can't. I know what you mean. I have been nursery coordinator, but and that's a big job. But people want to know their children are well cared for. Have you ever taught Sunday school or been involved?
Yes, I worked with children, like 1st grade, 2nd grade, on
Yes.
like that for a long, long time.
Gosh.
I went back to an adult Sunday school class. My Sunday school class is the Lydia class. Judy Frazier is my teacher. And I remember that I went back about 20 years.
Gosh.
I remember very definitely the time that I went back. And I had been working in the nursery or children's department for all that time.
Gosh, I know that's hard, and it's hard to get people to volunteer. I mean, this is not just at church, it's everywhere. People are not willing to volunteer their time, but when I hear people like you that say, you know, I volunteered in Sunday school for, I don't know, 20 years or 10 years or whatever, that is wonderful. We need more people like that will do it today. You know, some people say, I've done it a year or two, I'm through.
Well, when I was working with the children in the nursery, we had lots of children in each class, like 20 on roll and everything. And the teachers that worked, they were so dedicated, and they showed up. Mostly what I was talking about was the volunteers for the extended care during the worship service.
Yes, that's
and
true.
They had a schedule, and we called on Saturday, but still sometimes things came up and they couldn't come.
Things do, yeah.
And so that's the reason I think I was still in the nursery during the worship service.
Yeah, well, it's important those children are cared for, because I've done a similar job like that. Yeah, I do understand that. And you've volunteered in Vacation Bible School.
Yes, I enjoyed that so much after I retired.
Gosh, yes. And so many people say, oh, I'm retired, I just can't do that anymore. But you've done it for years and years. Thank you so much for that. I know
I really enjoyed it. I was always a guide.
That's okay. We got to have guides. And you have worked with children a long time. You worked with our children's Awana program on Sunday night.
That was wonderful.
That's a wonderful program of learning scripture and things like that. Now, as far as the adults, you're in Women on Mission, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, so y'all have, I guess you've been involved in it for several years. Yeah?
I have. At one time, I was a facilitator for many years. I don't remember how many years.
Right.
But we have an active activity, and we study about missions and pray for missions, support missions.
Well, you had a real heart for that with your daughter and son-in-law.
I did.
And children being a missionary. I understand that. And the Metallic Club, that's something you're involved in right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And then also Sunday school.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Sunday school. Wow. And I'm sure the list goes on. In fact, somebody told me, I know you don't do this anymore, but the pews in the church have a little rack in the front where you put a visitor card or things like that. And I never thought about the fact that somebody has to go through every week and replenish those and straighten them up. And you did that for years and years, didn't
I
you?
did.
Wow. That's something you just come in on some day of the week and do that, huh?
Well, I didn't do it every week.
Well, no, you did it as much as it needed, I'm sure.
Yes.
But that is a job, probably nobody knew you did that. I bet. You just serve very quietly, and that is so special. I know you just continue to serve, even at 88. I think that's wonderful. But you told me that your grandfather, I believe, used to come to the church early to stoke the fire to get it warm for everybody. Yeah. What did he walked or something?
Yes,
Is that what
he
you said?
walked.
Wow.
Didn't have a car. I don't think they ever had a car.
Right. And would come like 3 or 4 in the morning, early, really early, to stoke the fire so everyone else could come. So I think your family has probably always served. All of your family, is that right? So that's where you get it.
My grandmother worked with what we call juniors at that time, like the 8 and 9-year-old kids. Yeah. And she also did meals for the choir when I was in the youth choir.
Yeah.
She worked in the nursery. She played the organ too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Well, Jamie's carrying on that musical tradition. That's wonderful. Well, listen, we're going to pause for another commercial break, and we'll be right back and talk some more with Miss Elaine.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
There's a lot in life to smile about. Are loose dentures or missing teeth keeping you from enjoying the things you love? Don't miss out on enjoying life's precious moments. You can be you again with affordable mini dental implants. You can smile again, laugh out loud, and have your self-confidence back. Let us help you make it memorable.
I'm Dr. Rick Redmond. Call me today for a free consultation and give me the opportunity to change your life.
The all-new Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our remodeled and expanded pharmacy gives us the space to serve more patients. We've added a drive-through window for those times when you don't feel like getting out of your vehicle. And we still offer delivery within city limits. We feature a full line of over-the-counter medications and supplements. And don't forget our stunning new gift department. New building, same great people. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Miss Elaine Mitchem from Sylacauga, talking about her life, her career, and it's been a life of service for our community, I think. And I know we talked about the things at church, we go to church together, but there are lots of things in the community that you're involved in. You said you have been out of high school
70 years.
70 years, and you graduated from Sylacauga High School.
Right.
That's amazing. And you were in the band and still do alumni band. Oh, that is amazing. Is that fun? Do you enjoy that?
It is fun.
Oh, wow. Can you still play the clarinet?
No, I just carry it.
That's okay. You don't have to play. But that is so nice to see, because you've done that just about every year, probably.
Yes.
They have a time they invite all the alumni back, and that's nice. That's fun. You do Meals on Wheels, is that correct?
Right.
You have a friend that does that with you?
Yes, Paula helps me.
That is a commitment. That's like every week, isn't it?
No, once a month for me.
Oh, once a month. Okay, yeah. That's great, though, delivering meals to people who are shut in and things like that. That's great. I can vouch for the fact that you support things that we do at the library. You're at Brown Bag, all the activities we have. We really appreciate that. We like to have our faithful people that come all the time, so we're very appreciative of that. And you're also in Christian Women's Club.
Right.
Is that right?
We meet at the Hickory Street Cafe.
Right.
And it's once a month. And I really enjoy that.
That has been in Sylacauga several years. I used to, probably 30 years ago, I was involved in that too, because I worked and we met at night. That's fine. So you've done that for several years.
Yes, I was the facilitator for 2 years. And
okay.
That was really a fun thing to do.
Really, yeah. So it's nice to hear. A lot of people can go to things, but when you actually take a lead in it, like you said, you're the facilitator and things like that, we appreciate that. And you haven't let your age stop you from doing any of those things.
No.
You inspire me. I feel like I want to be you when I grow up. You and several other friends that are just like you that are continuing to serve. That's great. Now, you have also done a lot of traveling, haven't you? Where are some of the places you've traveled?
Well, my Sunday school teacher, as I said, is Judy Frazier, and she and her husband have planned lots of trips, and we've been to Hilton Head maybe 8 times.
Oh, goodness.
And we've been to Dillard, Georgia, and different places. That's always been fun with our friends. Yeah. And then I have really been gone to lots of places. I've been to Korea 2 times, as I mentioned.
Yes.
I went on a trip to Germany, Austria, and several other countries with Faye and Buddy Simpkins.
Oh, my goodness.
I've traveled to Hershey's, Pennsylvania, to the chocolate factory, and there's a theater there in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, that is called the Sight and Sound Theater. Mm-hmm. And just this last year, I traveled to Pennsylvania with Jamie and 2 great grandchildren, and we saw Daniel at the Sight and Sound Theater. Oh, it's a beautiful theater. I've been there 3 times. Mm-hmm. I've seen Daniel and Noah and In the Beginning.
Oh, goodness.
And Bob and I traveled a lot too. Our favorite place was Highlands, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Okay, wow. And I know, going back to the trip you had with your daughter and your great-grandchildren, how was that, traveling with great-grandchildren? I know they enjoyed it.
It was tiring.
They can go, can't they?
The first part of the trip, we went to Madison to see Jimmy and Kathy. Yeah. And that was fun for about 2 days. And Madison's a beautiful town, mm-hmm. and they have lots of older buildings and that you can tour, and a water park that's new, and we stayed in a hotel that overlooked the Ohio River. Oh. and the big bridge there that separates Kentucky with Indiana.
Yes.
The kids were really good. They were 14 and 12.
Okay.
And so they took care of me really well.
Oh.
And they were fun. That we didn't have any trouble with them. But traveling is hard now. I get so tired.
Oh.
But Jamie says we're going to do that trip again this year.
Good. Well,
So
good.
we'll see.
I'm good. If somebody else is driving, you know, I'm good to go. That's wonderful, though. Now, I know you told me one time about taking a trip with a choir from the church, the Silvertones.
Several times.
Yeah.
That was so much fun. It was right after 9/11.
Oh, yes.
And travel was just really changing, security and that sort of thing. But we sang in several churches.
And
in
this
that
was
area.
a senior adult choir.
It was a senior adult
Yes.
choir. Claire Stewart and Jerry Dykes planned the trip, and it was so wonderful.
Oh, how fun.
And one thing that I remember, we went to this mountain, Old Man in the Mountain, and it had a rock that it extended over the rock formation, and you could see the features of a man.
Oh.
And at that day, it was fall, and the foliage was so beautiful, and there was a glistening snow that had fell, and the leaves on those trees and that snow, it was just so sweet. And we had an experience. I think it was the first night we got there. We went to a restaurant, and it was on a lake, and it was open, and there was a wedding party there. And they asked us why we were there and what we were doing, and someone explained to them that we were a choir.
Yeah.
And one of the people in the wedding party asked us would we would sing.
Oh.
We didn't have a keyboard or anything with us, so we sang a cappella. And it was patriotic songs that we had learned to play for that program, our trip. And it was the most beautiful music. It seemed like that the sound just exploded from
Yes.
the water.
Oh,
And they were so appreciative, and it was so much fun.
wow. Well, that is wonderful. You've told me that story. I enjoyed hearing that. And we are out of time, but thank you so much, Miss Elaine, for all you do for Sylacauga. You still love it, and I appreciate you being my guest today.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us on Library Connection.